My name is Jeff Tucker, and I am an author for Boys Town Press. I have currently written 5 books for Boys Town Press, 4 of which are part of a series, and then I have a standalone title called Isaac the Instigator. And today I am going to be reading you the third entry from my series, which is titled Chicory Elementary Stories for Success. And this book, titled Vinnie the Brave, is very special to me. Out of all the books that I've written, this one came the easiest to me. I kind of entered a flow state, and it's one of the books that I've written that I'm most proud of. And the book is centered around asking for help and also about facing fears. And it's kind of grounded in some principles of acceptance and commitment therapy, but I won't bore you with all the theory behind that. But it is an excellent book for children to learn that experiencing fear and feeling scared is normal, and that sometimes we have to face those fears in order to be our best selves and to succeed. So I am delighted to participate again in the Summer Read Aloud series. So I will get started. All right. So again, this is Vinnie the Brave. All right. I'm a brave kid. Just ask anyone at Chicory Elementary. They'll tell you Vinnie's not afraid of anything. That's why everyone calls me Vinnie the Brave. I'm fearless. How brave am I? Once, a wicked storm blew in with thunder so loud it made the whole school rattle. Kids in class jumped, but not me. I wasn't scared. It was just a little rumble and rain. Then there was the time a spider crawled into our classroom. Some kids screamed. Others ran to the opposite side of the room. Not me. I walked right up to it, lifted it with my bare hands, and set it free out the window. No biggie. It was just a bug. I do have a secret, though. There is one thing that really scares me. It's not snakes or high places or creepy crawly things or even ghostly looking things. I'm afraid to speak up in class. You see, sometimes my teacher, Miss Hall, goes too fast for me. I'm not dumb or anything. I'm really pretty smart. I just don't always understand things as quickly as everyone else. When Miss Hall teaches us new material, she always asks if we understand. Most kids say yes or nod. I nod too, even when I'm confused. I never speak up when I feel lost. I don't want to be laughed at or called names. Maybe I'm not Vinnie the Brave after all? Miss Hall asked me to stay after class to talk. Everyone else went to recess. She pulled up a chair next to her desk and I sat down. Vincent, lately your grades have been lower than usual, she said. What's going on? I was embarrassed, but I trusted Miss Hall, so I admitted the truth. Sometimes you go a little too fast for me. I can't keep up. Oh, I see. Why haven't you ever said anything? Afraid, I guess. Kids might laugh or call me stupid. I wish I was brave enough to speak up. I never want you or any student to be scared in class, Miss Hall told me, and I won't tolerate anyone being laughed at or called names. Thank you for telling me how you feel, Vincent. Let me think this over. I'm sure we can find a solution. I got up and went outside for recess. Everyone was already playing basketball, or trying anyway. William, the tallest, biggest kid in school, had taken the ball from Cecilia and was holding it way above her head. Give her back the ball, William, I shouted. Why should I? He snapped back. Because we're all going to quit playing with you if you don't play fair. Show us your skills on the court instead of messing up the game. William stared at me a few seconds and then dropped the ball. Cecilia grabbed it and smiled at me. Thanks, Vinny. You sure are brave. If she only knew. The next morning, before class, Miss Hall pulled me aside. Remember what we talked about yesterday? I have an idea, she whispered. How about you give me a little signal anytime you need me to slow down or you need more explanation? What kind of signal? I asked. Miss Hall tugged the bottoms of her ears with her fingers. She looked silly, but I liked it. Like this? I asked, pulling on my ears. Perfect. Now, anytime you're having trouble understanding me, just give me the signal. That way, I'll know to slow down and explain the lesson a little differently. Sure. Thanks, Miss Hall. Our signal worked great at first. Every time I had trouble keeping up, I tugged my ears. As soon as she saw the signal, Miss Hall stopped and repeated what she had said, or she described it in a different way that made sense to me. But yesterday, during math class, our signal got lost. We were learning about improper fractions. I tried to keep up, but the more Miss Hall talked, the more I fell behind. I tugged and tugged on my ears, but she didn't notice. I kept tugging, but she kept going. I knew I had to speak up. I was so nervous. My legs were shaking like a puppy after a bath. Finally, I popped my hand up. When Miss Hall nodded at me, I said, Miss Hall, I don't understand. My voice boomed across the classroom. Heads turned. But you know what didn't happen? No one laughed. No one called me dumb. Instead, 3 other kids said, Me neither. I'm so glad you let me know, Vincent. Okay, class, let's go over this again a little more carefully, and I'll explain it a little differently too. Miss Hall went over the formula again, and guess what? I understood. When it's time for recess, Miss Hall asked me to stay back just for a minute. Vincent, did I miss our secret signal earlier? Yeah, but it's okay. Gee, I'm sorry, but I'm so proud of you for speaking up. That was very brave, she said. I wasn't brave, Miss Hall. I was really scared when I spoke up. Vincent, what do you think brave means? It means never being scared of anything. That's not quite right, Vincent. Being brave doesn't mean you're never scared. It means you do what you need to do even when you're scared. What you did was very brave. Did you know that sometimes I get scared when I have to talk in front of lots of people? Really? But you're a teacher. Miss Hall, you do that every day. Exactly, because I love teaching. I do what I need to do, even if it makes me a little scared. Miss Hall gave me a lot to think about. After all, you got to be pretty smart to be a teacher. Miss Hall, I'm still Vinnie the Brave, right? She grinned and laughed, even more than you were before. Awesome. I left her classroom feeling fearless. Chicory Elementary had just gotten new super high monkey bars. I showed everyone just how brave I was by being the first one to climb to the top. The next day, Mom took me to the doctor's office for a checkup. My pediatrician said I needed to get a shot. When I saw the needle, I knew there was something even scarier than speaking up in class. I remember what Miss Hall had said about being brave, so I took a deep breath. Then I told the doc I was ready. The whole thing was over in a second. You were very brave, Doc said, giving me a fist bump. Weren't you scared? Sure, but I faced it. I'm Vinnie the Brave, after all. And that is Vinnie the Brave. And all my books, I develop activities that can be purchased, that can be completed alongside reading the book in classrooms. And one that I really liked that I developed for Vinnie the Brave is designing Help Wanted posters, where students can make posters and you can display them in the class and decorate them however they want, that outlines the type of help that they may need, whether that's in their coursework or something like tying their shoes, and everybody posts their help wanted sign. The teacher can review it and see what he is able to help the student with, or can direct the student to other faculty, other resources, if they may be more well suited to help them deal with the issue. But it normalizes help seeking behavior, which I think a lot of children struggle with. I know when I was working as a school counselor, students asking for help was a big issue. Um, and another thing I think is that this book can help parents and teachers teach children the dangers of kind of fortune telling thinking. So when they predict that there's going to be a certain outcome, so they avoid engaging in a certain behavior. So in this book, Vinny was afraid that other students were going to laugh at him or call him dumb, and that kept him from doing what he needed to do to be his best. And a lot of the time, even us as adults, we tend to catastrophize what the future is going to look like and how other people are going to perceive and react to us, when in reality, we all have our own fears and our own struggles. And a lot of the time, if you're thinking it and struggling with it, a lot of other people are too. So there may be some me neithers, just like there were in the book. So thank you so much for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the book. It's been a little while since I've published a book with Boys Town Press, but in good news, the fifth book in this series, titled Imperfect Paul, will be out in the spring of next year, and I'm really excited about it. And I hope you all like it and check it out when it's released. All right, take care, everyone.